never the science on me people. And that's been exacerbated by the fact that the artists are running the campus and the designers are another end of the campus. So we've been trying to look at ways which are not to do with physical location, but more virtual. Being able to link people virtually because physicality or physical location is not possible. And to some degree is not wanted by some people. Tom and I started working together in the second semester of 2007, I think. And we ran a short project. We're using what were essentially farm pilots to try and get our students blogging. And at the time when, Tom proposed the idea, and my immediate reaction was, great, that sounds great, because we could potentially find ways of linking us to the days to actually marketing them on the campus, which hadn't worked. So I jumped on it from that perspective, not really thinking too much deeper about what we were doing. But rapidly worked out that there were a whole host of very important reasons why we should be doing it, and the physical location was just one of them. So I think really, in the infancy of what we did, and I've got a blog which I won't cover, but was the record of all the work we did up until 2008. And in some respects, it was the results are not great for a whole lot of reasons. Staff not engaging particularly well with blogging, students not really understanding why we were doing it, apart from the physical link or the virtual link. And also to do with technology, to do with internet access, speed, all that kind of thing. So there were a whole lot of reasons why it wasn't a great success. So we kind of regrouped and put in an application to the QRP, to actually get some good devices that would allow us to do a better job. And to actually, in discussions with the head of the department at that point, to actually see this as being something which has potential to roll out across the whole of the design school rather than just being one program. And some of the other staff were showing interest. We have an internal research symposium that we run every year, and I've done a presentation from the presentation. A couple of staff said, that's interesting, can we talk to you? And the next year they did a presentation, and suddenly people started to see Web 2 technology as being of interest. And the underpinning pedagogy was social constructive pedagogy rather than constructivist pedagogy. I mean, to try and unpack that for a second, is that art and design teaching, as some people very well know, is being based on a model of being in a studio. So the studio is some intent supposed to represent or replicate a design studio that you might work in when you leave. And it's often an individual staff member having individual conversations with students about their particular project. And so what we were very interested in was looking at whether Web 2 technology, like mobile Web 2 technology, would allow for a different type of information and expertise construction to happen. And our research over the last supposed year now, year and a half, has shown us some really interesting facts about how students can have constructive and sharing information in ways they don't do it. So it's to do with the fact that they don't sit down face to face because they're at different places, different times. Some of the information is to do with the fact that they discuss things now with people who aren't in the studio, people who aren't necessarily at the internet, external clients who do a lot of live projects. They can have virtual discussions through their blogs and through social networking sites that we use for Link, which I'll show you in a minute. They can have discussions with clients who might only see them at the beginning of the project and the end of the project, and not talk to them at all in the middle. The client's busy and is in the first work. But the client can keep up with the project as it's being developed, and then in the final presentation can feel to be part of the project all the way through, not just be dropped with a couple of nice drawings or slides at the end, which they may or may not actually So the way that we work it is that we have each of the staff has their own blog, and all of those are linked, which is an easy mechanical process to do, or digital process to do. And then each of the students is required to set up their own blog as well. And then using this tab up here with the neighborhood, we allow our students to enter into our blog, and we allow the students to enter into their blog, so that we can see what they're doing and they can see what we're doing. What do I use my blog for at this point? I found that not only is it an excellent place to have discussions any place, any time, I've also found it a fantastic place to put information that I want to look at in conjunction with their project. So we use Blackboard. The Bachelor of Product Design in which I'm teaching has used Blackboard for certainly for 5 years, so for the last 5 years. And we found it a really good one-way street. We found a really good way of administering information to students, but not receiving any feedback or entering into any discussions with them. So one of the great things about the blog here is in terms of going into my library, I can show students what books they need to be reading. I can show students any videos that they should be looking at. I can advise students in terms of resources. But importantly, as you can see in this column down here, last night, having discussions with students to do with their projects and being able to steer them, knowing that I was going to see them in the studio today. So, the immediate thing that most of the staff that I've been working with have said is, doesn't that just mean more work? That doesn't just mean that you're going into studio doing the studio thing, and then leaving studio and going and looking at everyone's blogs and actually adding to the complexity or the amount of what you do. And in the first instance, I think that was definitely the case, through a kind of a naivety. But over the course of the last probably year and a half, we've been able to see it that differently. So it's about what you're doing, how you apply your time, rather than time management thing, rather than I need to do this and I need to do that. So, for example, if our students have a 6 hours contact in the studio, then that can be changed to 4 hours contact and 2 hours where I'm monitoring what they're doing online, which means that they don't necessarily have to be in the studio, it means that I don't necessarily have to be in the studio, and it's certainly been really advantageous at times when students are sick, when I'm sick, when I'm away at a conference, which has been quite frequent recently. And so it's a different type of time management, which has been, I suppose, discussed at departmental level in terms of, there's I suppose a more basic way of looking at time management is being in the room for 3 hours in front of people, and now there's a different model that's being kind of experimented with on results rather than how many hours you spend in the room, and how do you manage that, and how are we using